another edition of Sermon and Song with Blue in the Face. I'm Chris Catalano, and I'm going to talk to you about all things love of God until I'm, well, blue in the face. All of us are touched by the deep impact over the loss of our loved ones. Let's continue our series on bereavement. Today, part 4, Watching at the Front Window. As the days and months progress, it seems that time itself seems to be hurting your soul the most. Every moment, every hour, yes, every day that slowly passes brings with it the cruel reminder that your beloved is still gone. Your loved one will not return, and time only exacerbates the pain, for every moment is one moment longer since you saw them last. True? When I was in 11th grade, the bus route was changed to begin the new school year. The bus would no longer be coming from the same direction as it had in previous years. Instead, it was coming from the top of the block, passing my house and stopping at the first corner. Because of that, it was always easy to tell when the bus would be approaching because it first had to pass our house. In previous years, it arrived at the same corner, but it came from a completely different quadrant of the neighborhood, never passing our house. When it got to be cold outside, my brother and I devised a method of being able to wait inside the warm house instead of at the cold bus stop. I would watch from the top floor of my house, look out the window as far left as I could see. Since we were only the third house on the block, seeing the corner was easy at this time of year given the lack of foliage. When the bus would begin to turn the corner, I would yell downstairs to my brother, who in turn would lift the garage door. As he began to walk to the bus stop, I would follow in his steps as I lowered and locked the garage door behind me. What teamwork! I'll never forget those mornings and the anticipation we felt waiting and watching at the front window. One of the reasons this time period has been so very painful for many of you is because you're still watching and waiting in anticipation at the front window. You wait at the window each day and night hoping to catch a glimpse of your beloved coming down the block. They come not. You even leave the proverbial door unlocked with the hope that they'll come walking through at any moment. They enter not. Truly, you don't want to believe they're really gone. Can anyone blame you? Watching from and peering out the windows to the heart is the mind's way of trying to deal with the shock of your loss. Maybe, just maybe, you ponder, if I stand and wait, stand and watch, they'll come back. It's still so difficult to fathom the depth of your loss, so a tiny piece of you holds out hope that he or she will return. Thus, in the meantime, you watch, you wait. I truly believe what I described is so very normal. As the shock begins to wear off, or as the emotional Novocaine begins to wear off, you become even more sensitive to just how very much this is all hurting you. Thus, the most painful thought you think of is that it's one day longer now that I haven't seen my beloved. I miss him or her so much. I wish I could just see my loved one even once more. How much more will it hurt in 10 months if this is how it hurts after 5? What will it be like in a year, 2 years, 10 years, a lifetime? Time itself seems to be hurting your soul the most. How you long to see the bus turn the corner with your most cherished passenger on board. The joy it would bring you. Yet the time lengthens. The pain deepens. But what about time and the way that each further moment seems to increase the pain? I have 2 thoughts on that. First, since the future time without your loved one is too overwhelming to fathom, and the time that's passed is too painful to think about, the only thing you can do is live in the present moment. By living in the present moment as much as you're able, you can try to focus on the blessings God is sending you right now. Abundant blessings are no less present because your loved one is gone. They're here in the moment now. The future without your loved one seems impossible to fathom. the length of time that's already passed is too painful to think about. So by choosing to live just in this moment now, you can perhaps better cope with the reality of your deep loss. Second, some of those present moments will be sad. They're even sadder because you're still secretly watching at the proverbial window. Anyone in your situation would do the same. I assure you that as the years pass, God is going to give you the strength to close the curtains on the windows. You will have the strength to lock the door. You will not spend all your days watching and waiting. You will feel the divine hands of God slowly pull you away from the window, embrace you, and whisper in your ears that it's all right to step away from the glass. For your beloved is already in the best hands of all, the hands of God. When you're able to close the blinds and lock the door and stop waiting vigil, you'll be brought to a new place in your grief. We call that acceptance. You'll have come to accept the utter tragedy that has befallen you, but acceptance only comes with the passage of time. And ironically, time is your nemesis right now. But time will not be your enemy forever. While acceptance will not happen quickly, it will come. In the meantime, keep watching and waiting at the front window. You need to. You must. This is part of your grieving. Don't be in any hurry to close the curtains. You must do that in your own time. So stand by the window. Weep, scream, pray, collapse in the exhaustion of grief. But no matter what, stay and watch and keep vigil at the window. Even though your mind knows this won't change the reality of your situation, your heart and your spirit need to stand at the window and grieve. Only by doing this will you be able to close the blinds and lock the door and venture away from the window when the springtime comes, as it always does. And when you do, you will have found the last part of the puzzle: acceptance. Winter will have ended. There will be no more need to wait inside due to the cold. Now, then it'll be time to run out into the springtime world as the next bus full of blessings comes down the block, and you will be ready to board and follow the journey to wherever the Lord, the eternal bus driver, wishes to take you. Until then, be at peace. Get yourself a nice hot cup of coffee and sit at the window. Stay as long as you need to. Don't let anyone or anything move you away from the glass until you're ready. But just remember, sitting beside you in an empty chair is Christ, who keeps vigil with you. He always does. In your hands, Lord, I place my spirit. This is a song I wrote several years ago for my friend Jean, who suffers from multiple sclerosis. I'll tell you the full story of the song's origin another time, but for now, I pray you find comfort in its universal message. This is perhaps my most requested song, and it's entitled, I Have Not Finished Blessing You. Now I call out your name, so rest in me like a child at peace as it sleeps in the arms of its mother. walk in the light of my blessings. I have not finished holding you, countless embraces remain. I have not shown my magnitude, and all of the joy still to follow. I have not finished healing you, healing in earnest remains. I will reveal my voice to you, as now I call out your name. So rest in me, like a child at peace as it sleeps in the arms of its mother. Oh, rest in me, I will show you the joy as you walk in the light of my blessings. I have not finished calling you, countless new callings remain. I have not shown my everything, and all of the love still to follow. I have not finished guiding you, guidance through wisdom remains. I will reveal my heart to you, as now I call out your name. So rest in me, like a child at peace as it sleeps in the arms of its mother. Rest in me, I will show you the joy as you walk in the light of my blessings. I will show